This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 6th day of April in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Chief Election Officer Vishnu Prasad has officially written to the Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, informing him that the Elections Commission has extracted the names of PNC leader Aubrey Norton and former party chairperson Walter Lawrence to be members of Parliament for the APNU-AFC. The move comes one day after the representative of the list of candidates for the coalition, Mr. David Granger, submitted the two names to the Chief Election Officer to be extracted following consultations between the APNU and AFC. In the letter to the Speaker, the Chief Election Officer said that he should be informed that the names of Aubrey Norton and Walter Lawrence have been extracted, and accordingly, Aubrey Norton and Walter Lawrence are duly declared members of the National Assembly from the date hereof. The chairman of the Elections Commission has also been requested to issue certificates of election in accordance with the provisions of the Representation of the People Act, Chapter 103, to Mr. Norton and Ms. Lawrence. Last week, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, triggered the process by advising Mr. Granger of the two vacant positions in the Assembly for the opposition. Those vacant positions were created by the resignation of Nicolette Henry and Joe Harmon as members of Parliament. Although Mr. Harmon's seat became vacant on the 15th of March, the process to replace him only took effect when the resignation of Nicolette Henry took effect at the end of March. The two new MPs will be sworn in at the next sitting of the National Assembly, and that sitting is expected soon. Once the two become members of Parliament, the opposition members will meet for the election of Aubrey Norton to the position of opposition leader. The position of opposition leader is a constitutional position, and the president is required by the Constitution to engage the opposition leader on a number of issues, including several appointments. The president had refused to engage with Mr. Harmon while he was opposition leader, declaring that he will only do so after Harmon publicly recognizes him as president. It is unclear whether the president intends to hold that same position with Norton as the opposition leader. More news coming up in just a moment.
Ready, set, go! You cannot afford to miss the excitement of GTT's Easter Supermarket Sweepstake promotion that runs now until April 11, 2022. Simply activate any data plan, pay any GTT bill via MMG, top up $1,000 or more on MMG or via any GTT retail store or agent to enter for a chance to win a supermarket sweep at a major supermarket. First prize, get a chance to sweep up $150,000 in groceries. Second prize, you can grab up to $100,000 in groceries. And for the third prize, you can sweep up to $50,000 in groceries. So what are you waiting for? It's time for you to enter the GTT Supermarket Sweepstake promotion now. Promotion ends April 11, 2022. See press for more details. GTT. Together we connect to this Easter season. Together we rise.
Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you feeling. Ole cheesy, too much ripples and more combo pack up flavors galore, yeah. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best.
Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack, now with a new look and new mix. Grab your pack today.
Best mix, so we feeling best.
The Ministry of Education is making a significant investment in the education system to distribute textbooks to every primary school pupil to support them at school and at home. So students and parents, please take good care of the textbooks loaned to you and remember to return them at the end of the school year so that the next batch of students can use them. Before collecting the textbooks, parents will sign a contract promising to ensure the books are kept in good condition and to return them. Parents will be required to pay the cost to replace or repair any of the lost or damaged books. So let's do the right thing and use the books wisely so that as many students can benefit across Guyana. A message from the Ministry of Education.
Don't let the fear of contracting the coronavirus disease deter you from seeking the medical care you need. At Eureka Labs, we ensure the safety of our clients and staff with our rigid sanitization routine. This involves the use of ultraviolet lights to effectively rid the air and all surfaces of viruses and bacteria that may be present throughout the lab daily. The light works to rapidly inactivate microorganisms through a physical process that is invisible to the human eye. Bacteria, viruses, and protozoa exposed to the germicidal wavelengths of UV light are rendered incapable of reproducing and infecting. Germicidal ultraviolet technology is a decades-old technique that has been proven to effectively disinfect medical facilities. So the next time you need a checkup, don't hesitate to give us a call on 225-7574 to schedule your appointment. Our services includes comprehensive blood tests, ultrasounds, DNA, HIV and STI testing, x-rays, cancer screening, and more.
Give me one dembe for my whole family. Their bread is tasty.
Baked with love and passion by our dedicated team of fine bakers, we give you Dembake. With the same great quality you're used to, we now have a slightly new look. Here in Land of Canaan, we are ready to give you even more. Don't wait until you're hungry. Reach for a slice of Dembake. Dembake, healthy, wholesome living.
In just 2 years, oil production earned Guyana a whopping $608 million. These funds are being used to build bridges, roads, and other infrastructure to improve the lives of all Guyanese.
It's here! Introducing the MyGPL Customer Portal, a convenient way to access all your account information in one location. To sign up, it's easy. Simply go to https://my.gplinc.com. After signing up, you will receive a confirmation email. Once logged in, view your postpaid account, monitor your consumption, view current charges and payment history, retrieve current and previous bills, and submit meter readings. MyGPL Customer Portal. Access to all your account information from your PC, tablet, or mobile phone at your convenience. Sign up today. For more information, contact our customer call center on 226-2600.
Mobile One is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobile One adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of mobile lubricants.
Live your fantasy at Fantasy Gaming Lounge. Win big daily. Millions in cash prizes every week. Now located at Giftland Mall, Fantasy Gaming Lounge, the best bet in town.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
The government of Guyana is not happy with the quality of public telecommunications services in the country and has filed an official complaint with the Public Utilities Commission, hoping that the PUC will recommend amendments to the Telecommunications Act that might force companies to improve their services. In a letter to the chairman of the PUC, Prime Minister Mark Phillips said the government is extremely concerned at numerous reports of poor quality of public telecommunications services. He said most of the complaints reaching the government have been about fixed and mobile broadband internet services. The Prime Minister has requested that the Public Utilities Commission examine the telecommunications consumer protection legislation with a view to amending 2 of the schedules in the legislation to include at a minimum quality of service parameters covering availability, packet loss ratio, which refers to uploads and downloads, average throughput for packet data, latency and jitter. The Public Utilities Commission has been receiving various complaints about the quality of internet and data services in the country. It has made moves to address some of those complaints. The Prime Minister has promised to follow up with the PUC on his requests. Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in Guyana, the judiciary has been disposing most of its cases virtually. Now that most of the COVID-19 measures have been relaxed, judicial officers are of the view that virtual court is a step in the right direction. For the Director of Public Prosecutions, Senior Counsel Shalimar Alihak, her office now prefers the virtual court system. The Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George said the judiciary will continue to utilize the virtual system since she believes it is here to stay.
The Supreme Court is on a transformational trajectory that will see us rolling out not just new courts, but courts that are technologically advanced. And we will enhance the facilities at the older courts.
The Chief Justice also said the transformation of the court will see the court operating from a place where citizens and those who utilize the court services will be pleased.
I would like to assure all that we are focused on court excellence, as our aim is to provide quality service. In so doing, we will strive to guarantee greater access to justice, better court customer satisfaction, and thereby continue to advance the rule of law in the new normal.
The DPP pointed out that the majority of judicial records are paper-based and that this has posed serious challenges for her office, in particular during the COVID-19 pandemic. As a result, the DPP said she's looking forward for the new management information system, which will see matters being disposed of digitally.
We look forward to the new Guyana Management Information System, the digitizing of police files compiled from the investigations. The digital file will then be sent to the office of the DPP for legal advice. After advice is given, it will be returned electronically to the police. Charges will be filed digitally by the police, and trials will be conducted using a digital file.
Many attorneys have also welcomed the virtual court system since it allows matters to be disposed of faster. This week, the legal community is observing Law Week. Let's tell you now that the Chancellor of the Judiciary, Justice Yonette Cummings, believes that the rule of law must be applied equally and must be even-handed between government and citizens. During her address at an event hosted by the Guyana Bar Association yesterday in observance of Law Week, the Chancellor said that while there are opinions that the law cannot be the same for both government and citizens, unnecessary privileges must not be enjoyed.
However, the rule of law requires that the government should not enjoy unnecessary privileges and exemptions from ordinary law. Fundamental rights and freedoms such rights are other areas in which the rule of law will feature prominently, and the Constitution limits state powers and arbitrary application of state powers in that regard.
The Chancellor also observed that the rule of law is sometimes invoked as a cover to justify claims relating to human rights and good governance. To this end, she explained that the rule of law must be used to prevent the abuse of discretionary powers and look critically at the issues of fairness.
The absolute independence of the judiciary stands as the bulwark of the Constitution against encroachment from any source whatsoever. The courts are constitutionally bound to give the citizen a fair hearing within a reasonable time for a determination of the existence or extent of any of the civil rights according to the law governing those rights.
But to achieve and uphold the rule of law, the Chancellor pointed out the independence of the judiciary is critical.
The Constitution has guaranteed the upholding of the rule of law by the creation and insulation of an independent judiciary. And we need to stress that. An independent judiciary, the creation and insulation of such an institution.
The acting chancellor said there must be equal accountability before the law, since it is a fundamental pillar of the Constitution. The same Constitution, she said, provides for the state to not deny any person equality before the law or equal protection and benefit of the law. A 49-year-old employee of the BK Quarry Company was charged and remanded to jail today over the murder of his workmate, 69-year-old Patamba Sharma. It is believed that the accused, Michael Suklal, strangled Sharma to death and dumped his body in the Mazaruni River close to the worksite. The incident took place this past weekend. The two men reportedly had an argument over work duties. In court today, the accused, Michael Suklal, was not required to enter a plea to the indictable murder charge. He was arrested over the weekend for questioning about the murder along with two other workmates. The other two workers have since been released. Outside the Bartica courthouse today, family members of the dead man held a protest calling for justice in the matter. The body of the elderly man, Patamba Sharma, was found in the Mazaruni River near to the quarry site, one day after he returned to work from home for duties. A post-mortem examination revealed that he died from blunt trauma to the head and other injuries. Guyana and Suriname are playing a key role in drafting a regional energy policy that is focusing heavily on renewable energy, according to the president. While accepting the credentials of the new Surinamese ambassador to Guyana, the president said bilateral cooperation between Guyana and Suriname augurs well for advancing regional integration. He announced that both nations have key roles to play in drafting a CARICOM energy policy, which will be focused on renewable energy. The president added that cooperation must also continue on regional food security, and he reassured that Guyana remains fully committed to supporting the Surinamese president in his role as the lead head of state for industrial policy and in guiding the regional effort. According to the president, it is important for Guyana and Suriname to also enhance collaboration on issues regarding climate change and the post-pandemic economic recovery.
I remain committed to preserving and building on this solid foundation. You can be assured of my government's full support as we carry out your mandate in furthering the excellent relations that exist between the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and the Republic of Suriname.
The Surinamese ambassador, Lucille Blankendal, said Suriname and Guyana have been sharing good relations and will continue to do so.
Suriname and Guyana enjoy a cordial bilateral relationship dating back to November 25, 1975. Both countries, relatively young republics, are taking pride in a rich culture of history, a diversity of ethnic groups, and an abundance of natural resources. Suriname attaches paramount importance to its bilateral relations with Guyana. Since both our current governments took office in 2020, we have forged a stronger partnership which has cemented in the strategic dialogue and cooperation platform, which sets a clear path to elaborate and promote, widen and deepen tangible cooperation in areas of common interest.
The new ambassador gave the commitment of the two neighboring states continuing their work together in a number of critical areas of cooperation.
Live your fantasy at Fantasy Gaming Lounge. Win big daily. Millions in cash prizes every week. Now located at Giftland Mall, Fantasy Gaming Lounge, the best bet in town.
You taste the cheese, you hear the crunch. Grab a zoomers and zoom into fun. And with the first taste, you feel like you don't want it done. Blast off to a whole new place with every single bite. The cheesy goodness bring your taste buds alive. So let's just zoom into fun with this wheel-shaped light. Zoomers, zoomers, zoom into fun.
Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
In addition to 2% royalty, did you know that Guyana earns 50% of the profits from oil production? More than any one of the Stabroek Block co-venturers, ExxonMobil, Hess and Sinopec. And by 2026, the government is expected to export 50 million barrels of oil per year, which can earn as much as $4 billion.
The Ministry of Education is making a significant investment in the education system to distribute textbooks to every primary school pupil to support them at school and at home. So students and parents, please take good care of the textbooks loaned to you and remember to return them at the end of the school year so that the next batch of students can use them. Before collecting the textbooks, parents will sign a contract promising to ensure the books are kept in good condition and to return them. Parents will be required to pay the cost to replace or repair any of the lost or damaged books. So let's do the right thing and use the books wisely so that as many students can benefit across Guyana. A message from the Ministry of Education.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Cuba is struggling to cover a fuel deficit as imports from Venezuela and other countries remain below historical levels, and global prices, boosted by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, make purchases almost unaffordable, according to analysts and data. The Reuters news agency reports that the Caribbean country, which is dependent on fuel imports mostly from political ally Venezuela to cover more than half of its demand, is since last month dealing with diesel and gasoline shortages, leading to long lines in front of stations. Insufficient fuel imports are another major hurdle for Cuba's economy, struggling to recover following the coronavirus pandemic and harsher U.S. sanctions imposed by the administration of former U.S. President Donald Trump. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro has provided Cuba with more than 32,000 barrels per day of crude since 2019, even amid U.S. sanctions on both countries. But fuel volumes sent to the island have fallen as Venezuela has struggled to produce refined products for its own needs, according to vessel monitoring data. Authorities in Haiti have arrested a prison director, a police officer, and the court clerk, accused of releasing a gang leader in exchange for bribes, a prosecutor announced yesterday. Police are now searching for an alleged gang leader known as Tisami, who was released over the weekend from a prison in the north coastal city of Fort Liberté. The prosecutor said the investigation is ongoing and more people might be involved. The fugitive suspect faces charges including murder and possession of illegal weapons. Haiti has struggled to crack down on gangs that have grown more powerful during a political vacuum following the 7th of July assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. A UN Security Council report released in February noted that Haiti's judicial system continues to exhibit grave structural weaknesses and that deeply rooted corruption remains a significant obstacle in Haiti. And finally tonight, international news. The bosses of some of the world's biggest energy firms have vowed to increase production this year as they defended themselves from accusations of profiteering from the war in Ukraine. The chiefs at ExxonMobil, Chevron and others said in Washington that they had little power over oil prices, which have soared after Russia's invasion. Prices remain more than 15% higher than they were at the end of January. The increase has raised energy costs for households around the world. In the U.S., where midterm elections will be held in November, it has also become a major political issue, weighing on President Biden's support. The U.S. and other members of the International Energy Agency have repeatedly tapped reserves to alleviate the crisis. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.